So good morning, students. Let's start our weekly current affair classes. So first topic is related to PM Kisan Yojana, the digital harvest. Because why it is in news? Because yesterday or day before yesterday, the 22nd installment of PM Kisan is given to the farmers. Okay. So it empowering 9.23 crore, 32 crores farmers through the world's largest direct benefit transfers, right? So why, for us, what is the most important part from this current? That is what PM Kisan. What is the full form of PM Kisan? Yes. So it is a centrally sponsored scheme with 100% of what funded by the central government. Right? So recently, Fasal Bima Yojana was released. Yeah. Fasal Bima alag hai, but this is what crop insurance policies. This is the direct benefit transfer to the kisans, to the farmers, right? So it is launched in which year? It is launched in 2019 February. With the it provides 6,600 rupees, 6,000 per year to eligible farmers, and paid in 3 installment, 222 via direct benefit transfer. The beneficiaries has what landholding farmers, right? So this transfer is directly linked with Aadhaar link bank accounts. Okay. Directly Aadhaar link direct benefit transfer, no middleman, so it will give us a transparency, right? So what is the major angle why it is up there, why it is in news? Because 22nd installment released in this March, and near about 18,640 crores transferred to the farmers. A total disruption since from the launch is near about 4 lakh crores, right? This data is directly connected from PIB. So as we see over there, 18,640 crores directly, total direct benefit transfer released on this March. 9.32 crores total beneficiaries, like this is the total amount of the farmers, right? 2.5 women farmers are the beneficiary in out of total 9.36, and 60,000 crores total PM Kisan allocations in union budget of 26 and 27, right? So what is the main core objective behind this Prime Minister Kisan Sampada Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi? First is income support. So what is income support? It ensures the minimum assured income to the farmers, right? So that is the first main core objective behind this scheme. Second is reduce agrarian distress. What is agrarian distress? This reduce the dependency of money lenders, right? They reduce the dependency of money lender. And third is what? They improve agriculture productivity. Why agriculture productivity? Because they help purchase the input cost. What inputs? Like seeds, fertilizers, right? Water connections. So these are the input variables for the farming productivities. For the farmings. Next is financial inclusion. It brings what farmers into formal banking system via direct benefit transfer, right? They bring the farmer, the unauthorized, unregulated sector of farming. They regulate him and they bring him into the financial inclusion of formal banking systems. And lastly, what is stability and risk coverage? Because it enables farmers to take productive risk. Why? Because they have some money to counter this part, like installment of 2,000 directly transferred to Aadhaar link system, first point. Second, installment of 2,000 directly transfer Aadhaar seed seeding bank account, installment of 2000 directly transfer, Aadhaar seeding bank account. This is the main three things in a year. So annually they got what? How much? 6,000 annual insurance, right? In Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, right? So what is the cumulative scale over there? Over 4.2 lakhs crore disbursed across 22 installments since the scheme was launched from 24th Feb 2019. मतलब 4-4.5 लाख करोड़ हमने अभी तक के उन्हें दे चुके हैं. Next, what is the significance and why it is important for us? The direct income support model. Why direct income support model is important? Because it shifts from the subsidy based to the income support model. Initially we give the subsidies to the farmers, है ना? Now we are not giving subsidies, we are additionally the income based support model. We will directly give the income, right? So they can use that money in their different works, right? And it is similar to universal basic income, right? Limited version, but बहुत small amount में हम दे रहे हैं, but it is a universal income base, मतलब limited version में, but universal income based thing है. Second, it boosts the rural economy. It boosts the rural economy. How it will boost? It increase the consumption demands. Because if farmer has money, so they got what? They can purchase. They can purchase high yielding seeds for the production, right? So it will boost to rural economy, increase consumption demands, act an automatic stabilizer in rural economy. Like in Niti Aayog studies that the increasing investment in agriculture reduce reliance on income credit, right? This is a case study which Niti Aayog studies, right? So for that purposes. Next is strengthening DBT ecosystem. DBT ecosystem like what? Users, Aadhaar, digital banking or digital land records, reduce leakage and corruption between the lands, plus money supply. So these are the major points. Lastly, inclusive growth. Why inclusive growth? Because the focus area is what? Small and marginal farmer, near about 85% of beneficiaries. Okay? And there's also, we can see, this is what over here we can say the gender dimensions, right? So there are crores of women's beneficiaries are also including in this, right? So that is why that it is very important for us. Now the 4 layers for the digital delivery stakes. First is ground truth, the digitized land record, state and UT level verification and regular upgradation of the land, right? For the farmers. Farming land. The next is what? After the land record, we have to KYC, e-KYC, identification and verification of Aadhaar seeding KYC. मतलब multimodal authentication. Multimodal authentication like OTP, biometrics, face authentication for the transparency purposes and for the record purposes, right? And then next is what? Financial transfer, public financial management system, which is integrated in this. So it will integrate what? National database enabling real-time financial trackings, right? And the last layer is what? User access, PM Kisan web portal and mobile app, which upgrades with face authentication, enabling self-registration and status tracking system. So these are the four major things. over where the fund flow and data flow both are integrated in these things, right? किस तरीके से देना है वो चीज इसमें देखी गई. Now the new key feature is what? It will powered by X-Step Foundation and Bhashini. Bhashini is what? Kishan E-Mitra portal. In that you have many other languages, right? Gujarati, Punjabi, Telugu, Marathi, Kannada. So it will support seamless voice and text queries also, ताकि you can talk with this 24/7 real-time information portal registration and eligibility like Kisan E-Mitra with your regional language and on which language you will feel comfortable. Okay. Next is what the key features regarding the governance and accountability metrics like central role and the state role. So what is the different what are the different roles which state and central will do? Like for the central, the maintain unified digital infrastructure pehla, integrated with PFMS, disburse fund via direct benefit transfer facility, national monitorings, right? So these are the major work done by whom? The central, right? Right. We see in all this, right? We know that dispersion of fund via like 6,000 rupees, 2,000 installment ke saath, facility national monitorings, or they will monitor all the land records. They maintain unified digital infrastructure like Kisan E-Mitra. Lastly, there is what? PMFS. What is integrated with PMFS? What is the full form of PMFS? अब आएगा प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना, right? No, sorry, गलत कर दिया PFMS है ये, मैं गलती से प्रधानमंत्री फीस फसल बीमा समझ गया. No, this is different. This is what? Public financial management system, right? PFMS, sorry for that. Public financial management system, right? This is PMF. What is the core objective of this public financial management system? Ministry of Finance is implementing this centrally. The Controller General of Accounts. What is the core object? To enable the efficient, ensure the efficient fund utilizations, tracking government expenditure, enabling the direct benefit transfers, improving the transparency and accountability, or the reduce leakage and corruption. Right? These are the major work of public financial management system. Lastly, next is what? The state role. What is identify eligible householders? Like what? Small and marginal farmers, near about 85% are small. So they identify, state will do what? They identify the eligible householder. Next is what? Maintaining and updating digitalized record. Digitalized record means कि their land records, their Aadhaar cards, all are linked to digitalization ताकि कितना कितना बीघा जमीन है, कितनी एकड़ जमीन है, कितने कितने किले आ रहे हैं, like all these things. ठीक है? From where to where it is ending, how much the length, how much the width. So they will maintaining all that. They prevent duplicate entries. Sometimes corruption will done by the lower bureaucratic officers. So they will prevent what? Duplication of entry की single farmer की 2 से 3 entry तक नहीं होगी ताकि he got some more money, right? For that purposes. And lastly is what? Publicly display beneficiary list at the village level for transparency, right? Taki they will publicly display the beneficiary list in village for the transparency ki who got this benefits directly. Okay? So the safeguard is what? Target recovery mechanism, right? So actively we can see that active recovery of proceedings against in ineligible individual like taxpayer, governments, employees, 416.75 crores recover national wide as a 2nd December 2025 तक के इतना करोड़ हमने रिकवर कर लिया था, राइट, फॉर द सेफगार्ड्स मेजर्स. सो कोई डाउट यहाँ तक के, कोई इशू नहीं ना? ठीक है. So these are the major parts which we are seeing in these things. Now let's talk about, we have know the key features. Key features are what? Like 6,000 rupees. These are the key feature कि 6,000 rupees मिलेगा उन्हें प्रधानमंत्री किसान बीमा योजना में, right? एक सेकंड, ठीक है. और another things are what? We complete the significance. 6,003 installments, Aadhaar link based inalienable, ठीक है. Digital platform with eKYC, Kisan e-Mitra, eligible based on land holdings, cooperative federalism directly connected to this topic. How? State variables, state verification, central funded. So this is what? Cooperative federalism. Now let's see the challenges. What are the challenges in these things? So first is what? Exclusion error. The tenant farmers, sharecroppers excluded from theirs. Landless agricultural labor are not covered in this thing. है ना? Next point is what? Land record issues. Outdated and unclear land records. Name mismatch problems. Sometimes there is mismatching in names, right? Third is what? Digital divides. Digital divides how? Like farmer without phone, mobile phone, internet access. So it will create what? Digital device. And we can also say the inadequate income support or income system. How? 6,000 per year is too low. Right? 6,000 रुपए दो करके 3 साल 1 साल में, it is too low, does not fully address agrarian distress, right? And also there is one challenge, inclusion error. In inclusion error, some ineligible beneficiaries are included initially. So that is the major factor. Another is what? Federal issues. What are the federal issue? Dependency on state for data verification and land records, right? So these are the major challenges in this thing, right? So as we see, the multi-tier monitoring in grievances redressal, like national oversight review mechanism chaired by the cabinet secretary, state and district level supervision, dedicated monitoring committees, support citizen access directly grievances lodged by PM Kisan portal and central CG grams, right? So it will 24,605 public grievances successfully resolved during financial year of 24-25, right? So this is the data. You can write this data. So institutional coverage, what are the institutional coverage are covered in this things? Like integrated PM Kisan with PACS. PACS is what? Public primary agriculture credit societies for the village level, right? So they will give the fertilizer input, PM Kisan's, like farmer production organization, FPOs, standard URS like PM for the PMBJP, right? Common service center like digital access, rural utilization of water, LPG and fuels. So these all are linked to this Pradhan Mantri Kisan with primary agriculture credit societies, right? These are the tangible, like these are the example which is not important for your prelims as well as mains, but हाँ कभी कभी लिख सकते हो, but this case study is only not that much important for you, right? So the evidence is institutional impact evaluation, like Niti Aayog is also impacting this thing, Ministry of Agriculture, if IFPRIs, right? So these all are the major organization. Next, the way forward thing. The way forward. We wrote the challenges, right? There is also some way forwards, like expanding. We have to expand the coverages, right? Including tenants, farmers, landless laborers, ताकि उनको भी इस financial growth के अंदर include किया जाए, right? Next is increasing financial support, index with inflations or link with crop cycle needs. So we can like give 10,000, 20,000, or 15,000 light arrow. So we can increase the amount. Next is what strengthening land records to like digitalizations under India, digital India land records or modernization program. And then we can give a convergence approach like link PM Kisan with crop insurance bima fasal yojana, soil health cards, Kisan credit cards. So we can link one scheme with another scheme taki they will give a convergence approach to the farmers, huh? Or it will, or we can improve the direct benefit transfer infrastructure more, like last mile connectivity, CSC center expansions, right? So these are the major way forwards, or data integrations also, ki farmer registry through AI based registrations. So these are the major way forward for the PM Kisan Yojana. So these are the major key holders, like because after we seeing all this way forward technologies and we adapt this for the cultivating a 5 trillion economy, we need what agriculture as a one base of farming as a base for what 5 trillion economy. Broad based program like what direct income transfers are easing liquidity constraints and driving income inclusions, rural economic activities. Like next is what long-term security, like redefinitions the relationship between public institutions and the farming communities to ensure sustainable livelihood. And lastly, the feature of farming, foundational support enabling the upcoming transactions towards climate resilience and precision agriculture. So this is the concluding part for Pradhan Mantri Kisan Yojana. ओके किसी को लिखना लिख लो इन तीनों चीजों को, उसके बाद लेट्स वी नेक्स्ट वी स्टार्ट अवर न्यू टॉपिक. हो गया, चलो स्टार्ट विद आवर फर्स्ट न्यूज. Next is what? Infrastructure. India shift a blending infrastructure financial ecosystem. Like what? The transition from public reliance to private participation, a shift from historical budget reliance toward blending public-private ecosystem. Why it is very important for us? Because it involves private partnership also. It involves private players. So it will give a good financing for our budgetary policies, right? So, like why it is we introduce the infrastructure, because infrastructure is a backbone for us in Indian economy. Infrastructure is very backbone for the what? Social growth, social development, shaping opportunities for industries, ecosystem, employment, or improving the quality of life. So for that purposes, infrastructure were financing a vital role, because it ensures what? Steady flow of funds for the large projects. So these are the major contributor in our economy in current times, right? Okay. So as we see, India shares as the largest recipient of private partnership in infrastructure PPI investment in South Asia. Matlab, currently we are engaging in South Asia with the highest percentage of public-private partnerships. And this report is given by who? The World Bank. World Bank का data है, ठीक है? What is infrastructural financing? Large-scale asset के लिए development. Long-term funds. Long-term funds for building what? Infrastructure like road, railways, port, power, urban infrastructures. ठीक? So what is the background for us? Like India is directly aiming, we can say that India is directly giving this thing for the aim of what? Viksit Bharat, right? For the Viksit Bharat, for that Viksit Bharat, India's massive push in last decades. Like we have the data from the last 2 decades, like from 2014 2 lakh crores to 12.2 lakhs crore current in current financial years. So it will targeting the special strategic cities economic region for the like focusing of tier 2 and tier 3 cities, 5 lakh less than 5 lakh crore 5 lakh population or more than 5 lakh population. ठीक है. Next, involving city economic regions CERs in budget 26 and 7, funding 5,000 crore for CER, like city economic regions over 5 years. And mechanism is what? Challenge mode with reform and result based financing, ताकि it will give a resultant feature for us, like this capex multiple effect. What is like government will spending the money, large scale spending act as a ecosystem primarily. After that we see the crowding in, we study the crowding effect, right? So building confidence, triggering the private investors ki, let's invest in this sector. After that demand will increase from the industrial side, because industry sector is also engaging in this part. So after industrial demands stimulates output for steel, cement, machineries and services, we see what? Job creation in multi-sector employment generations, right? So this will give what? A good model for us, taki, and if the job will creation, the tax will connected vapas, government will recover that money, right? Large sector will give a income for the money, income or long-term income for the government, right? So these are the major parts, like NIIF, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund is also under in this, and BFID, matlab National Bank for Financial Infrastructure and Development, Indian Railway Financial Corporations. All these are included as an institution that mobilize the capital in infrastructural management system. Like if we talk about NIIF, It is established in 2015. Sovereign link assessment management is the identity of this. It will build what diversification portfolio via operational under constructions asset. It will diversify the portfolio like the shareholding things into what operational under constructional assets. And the impact is what 4.9 billion US dollar AUM across 4 active funds. So it will give a good mobilization for the infrastructural projects. Next is what National Bank for Financing Infrastructure, which is established in 2021, which is established in 2021, and specialized development financial institution DFI, development finance institutions. Plus, the mandate is what addressing long-term and non-resource financial gap, build bonds in derivative markets, as we see the bond system, bond market, and derivatives for the long-term resource financing gap. Because for the infrastructure project, the major gap is the what is the major gap? That is what financing for that purposes, right? So it will impact like 3.03 lakh crore sanctioned, 1.09 lakh crore disbursed from in December 2025, right? And lastly, what is Indian Railway Financial Corporation 1986? It will has identity of dedicated sectoral financier, also exclusive financing arm of Indian Railway via leasing model, and last is what finance 75% of rolling stock of what 13,764 locos and that much coaches. So they will make that much locomotive engines and coaches and wagons, right? These are the major infrastructure. Now NII hub, their hub like is a sovereign global partners. As we see the international funds for the institution who finance for the long term or major projects, so they will take loans, investify or they take a शेयर होल्डिंग थिंग्स, जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड्स और ये सब चीजें भी किस तरीके से करते थे कि बाहर से लोन लेके पैसा लिया, उसके बाद वो फंड कर रहा है, उससे वो भी अपना कमा रहे हैं प्लस उनको भी दे रहे हैं, राइट? So that is like NIIF have master funds, private market funds, Indian Japan funds, strategic opportunities fund, growth equity investment, climate sustainable bilateral corridors, fund to fund for private market or private management fully committed, and greenfield asset ports, logistic airports, data centuries. So these are what major funds. Next is what national banking, financial investment and development project. It will connect the PPP module, IFCs, NDBs, KFWs. So see all this, take a screenshot of this slide and see all in a detailed manner, which is very important for your prelims and as well as mains perspective, right? So what is the major objective of infrastructural financing by these things? क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल फाइनेंस करने का? एक्सेलरेट द इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, राइट? इट विल एक्सेलरेट द इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ. It improves the connectivity and logistics. It attracts the private and global investment. It accelerates the economic growth. It improves the connectivity and logistics. It accelerates the private/global investment. It reduces the fiscal burden on government. It promotes the inclusive development. So these are the major objectives of infrastructural development policies or infrastructural financing. Okay? So what are the key major tools which is mentioned by the government from this news is what public capital expenditure. Okay? Government directly invest in infrastructure, act as a growth multiplier. The point is what? Public capital expenditure. Next is institutional mechanism like this institution, NIIF, National Investment in Infrastructure Fund, sovereign backed funds, mobilize the global and domestic capitals. Next is what? Next institution is what? National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Developments. So they will develop the what? Development financial institution. It is a development financial institution which provide a long-term infrastructure loans, right? So these institutions strengthening what? Financial or financing ecosystem. ठीक है? Third is what? Asset monetization. Next, asset monetizations. Monetization engines and rivets like infrastructure investment trust and real estate investment trust. Both are including in this thing. ये दोनों का full form है. ठीक है? So it will give what? So as we see over here, the heavy infrastructure, highway, power grids, underlying as a asset base in infrastructure basis. Take a trust. Next is what? Target investors, institutions, and ordinary retail poolings for big projects in India. The key milestone of this infrastructure is what? First, it is a first public infrastructure investment trust, which in 2016 have 4-round realization of 46 lakh crores, Rajmarg in triple AI rating in 2026, the national highway roads and power grid of private sector approved in 2020, right? So what is the major perspective or major work done by these two organizations is what? Government lease existing asset to private institutions with these things, right? करते हैं ना गवर्नमेंट एसेट क्या है? सड़क है, सड़क को दे रही है प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूशन को सामान्य के लिए, लाइट जो ये यूज करते हैं, टोल बूथ. These are what? Government lease the existing asset to the private players and generate fund for new projects. ठीक है? So these are what? Old asset is equal to what? Generate money, build a new infrastructure. Next is what? Risk managements. The risk management, the trust management, right? The risk mitigation, risk management. Risk mitigation is what? Infrastructure risk generated fund. That is new in the scheme. What is new? Infrastructure risk guarantee fund. It will reduce the investor risk. Okay? It will reduce the investor risk. It will encourage the private participation in the infrastructural financial projects. Okay? And the last is what? Urban developmental innovation. And urban development initiative is, as we see, the city economic region, CERs. So it what is CER? It will give us a planned urban clusters for economic growth. Okay? Planned urban societies for balancing the regional development. These are the major points, which is the major key feature of this scheme or the private or partnership, private and government sector partnershiping for the infrastructure development projects, right? The guaranteed fund, the timely completion, private sector, early stage construction development, the gap, the wage, the impact, right? So these all are covered in this. So what are the significance of this news for us, like infrastructure project? Like it will, for the economic significance, it will boost what? GDP growth directly. How? Improving the logistic will reduce the cost of doing businesses. So it will directly reduce the significance or boost the GDP growth. Next, if we connect the social perspective is what? It will give a better connectivity. For better connectivity is equal to what? Good jobs, good healthcare, educational access, right? And if we relate, if the economic terms, when we can relate this topic or the significance of the fiscal policy. So it will reduce the burden of on government financing, because we include the private sectors also for the infrastructure businesses. So it will attract the private plus global participations, right? And it will give a strategic investment. My matlab kya, it will give a strengthening global competitiveness for us, which will give us support manufacturing and export businesses. So these are the major points. Now let us see the challenges behind these things. The first major challenges is what? Financial gap. The huge capital investment is the major gap in this scenarios for the infrastructural development. Next is what? Long long gestation period, delay in return discourage the investors, right? Gestation period, if gestation period becomes the longer, so the investors has what? They will discourage in the next project for the investment things, because they know, okay, we can't earn from the money. And for private player, the major role why they invest for the profit making things. So that is the main goal, right? Third is what? Regulation bottleneck. These are the challenge, like land acquisition, clearance policies for that purposes. Fourth point is what? NPA in infrastructural sector, risk to bank, right? Non-performing assets. And fifth is what? Private sector hesitations due to high risk. Because if bank has a risk, the bank will not give the money to the funding for this project. So the private player has the major risk. So due to high risk, private players will hesitate, or private sector will hesitate to invest in the projects. So what are the major key way forwards for the project if we have some challenges? The first is what? Strengthening DFIs, development financial infrastructures, like NABFIDs, National Banking Financing for Infrastructure and Development. Expanding the PPP module, public-private partnership modules. Improving the ease of doing businesses. Deepening the cooperation. लिख रहे हो क्या? लिख बता देता हूँ, एक बार रिपीट करता हूँ. Strengthening DFIs like National Banking and Financing, infrastructural and development. Okay. Next is what? Expanding PPP module. Okay. Improve ease of doing businesses. Improving ease of doing businesses. Deepening corporate bond market. Deepening what? Corporate bond market. Promote green infrastructural financing. It will promote what? Green infrastructural financing. And also lastly, faster dispute resolution mechanism. Okay. So lastly, as we see, the foundational core for the public caps act as a premier. As we see what we have mobilized with this fund, we have institution anchors like NIF, NABARD, IRCS channel globally in domestic capital. हम पूरा recap कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? And monetizing what? Complete asset movement into investment via private debt market, right? So this loop will extract what? Capital in recycling direct back-to-back foundation to funds new greenfield project. Like अगर हमारे पास कुछ एसेट है गवर्नमेंट के पास, गवर्नमेंट ने लीज पे दे दिया, लीज पे उससे पैसा कमा के नए प्रोजेक्ट के लिए पैसा लगा सके, right? This is what government will do. And what will execution is this? It will construction phase sided by the infrastructure risk guaranteed fund, right? So this is the core insight for us, right? these are not isolated initiatives. These are a perfect engineered self-sustaining capitals recycling engines, right? So that is the final verdict, and this is the conclusion for this news, like financing Viksit Bharat. India's infrastructural financing journey is a decisive shift towards scale, innovation, and resilience. By replacing budgetary constraint with a self-sustaining ecosystem of risk mitigation and asset monetizations, India is securing the capital flow required for long-term global competitiveness and inclusive growth. So this is the final verdict for this news. Is you without कुछ समझ नहीं आया तो पूछो, लिखना है लिख लो, ये चीज कंक्लूजन कई बार काम आते हैं कुछ अच्छी चीजों के लिए। ये इसको शॉर्ट में और बताऊं तो वो लिख लो कि इंडिया इज शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट फंडेड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर India is shifting from government funded infrastructural to a hybrid model combining public spending, institutional financing, and asset monetization. India is shifting from government-funded infrastructure to a hybrid model combining public spending, institutional financing, and asset monetization. एक क्वेश्चन भी लिख लो, मेंस का क्वेश्चन। डिस्कस द रोल of infrastructure infrastructural financing in India's growth. ठीक है, उसका लिख के रखना, मेरे को दिखाना, ठीक है? कोई डाउट? चलो, थैंक यू स्टूडेंट्स, थैंक यू फॉर द करंट क्लास।